everybody, Jason Shadrick here at the Fender booth in the summer 2016 Nashville NAMM show. I'm here with Shane from Fender, and we're going to talk amps today, or at least this corner of the compound. We're going to talk about amps, and what they were hearing there on the intro was the new Tweed Champ you guys have. So tell us about this little guy.
Yeah, we've got the 57 Custom Series amps, brand new for summer 2016. Now the Champ, the Deluxe, and the Twin, we had started reissuing about 12 years ago. So these are going to be familiar to people, but we've got some new things to talk about. And then the big news is we've reissued the Narrow Panel Pro, which Fender has never reissued, and it's a beloved amp from the 50s that has that unique kind of mid-power platform and a 15-inch guitar speaker. So very excited about that. Yeah. All of these amps are handmade in Corona, California, USA. They're all equipped with 12AY7 preamp tubes, which is a lower gain vintage correct tube. But these aren't just about vintage spec, they're also about players that are going to use them today. So we've done some interesting speaker choices. In fact, in the Deluxe and the Twin, we have a brand new Eminence Alnico speaker that we've voiced kind of between the old school set the amp on 3 and you have the papery high end, and a modern player who's probably going to crank up the amp and they want the punch of the distortion. Yeah. So we have a speaker voice to be able to do both of those things. They all have the new Fender yellow capacitors, the tone caps that look so correct, but a lot of people think they can hear a harmonic richness from that. And they're all the transformers are from either Mercury or Schumacher, so it's all good stuff. And for guitar players, also the good news is we haven't raised the price point of this series, so it's $999 to $29.99 US, as it's been for all that time. You may also remember the Clapton amps were derived from this series. We did those for several years, and they were popular as well. So yeah, let's
hear a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so the Champ, one of the most recorded amps ever. If you want to move the mic a little closer, you can. It's got surprising amount of bass for an 8-inch speaker. All those tones are in there. I just saw Keith Richards on Netflix the other night, his new documentary. He's in the studio with Steve Jordan. There's 2 Champs behind him. It's just awesome.
All right, so we're plugged in now to the Deluxe, the Tweed Deluxe. So tell us about this one, Shane.
So 57 Custom Deluxe. It's based on the 5E3 Deluxe platform of the 50s that everybody loves. We've got that new Alnico Magnet Eminence special design speaker, brand new. 12AY7 preamp tube, little lower gain. And this amp, I mean, this is kind of everybody's favorite. It does so many things. So I'll go on a humbucker here. Those tones are in there. All your juicy single coil stuff, that's all in there. You want to get the Neil Young, Tom Petty kind of tones. That stuff's in there. And dare I say it, you can even get close to the Edge amp sound, which is his signature Deluxe.
And that's all coming from just you manipulating the volume knob and picking and...
It's a stock Strat right off the wall with the HSS arrangement, which I always like for demoing an amp like that. Because guys play SGs and Les Pauls with those amps, and people play vintage Strats and Tellys with those amps, and it's all good.
All right, so now we're into the Custom Pro, which is the first reissue, like you mentioned before. So tell us how this one kind of differs from the other ones.
Okay, well, if you think back to what Leo Fender was trying to do in the 50s, he was thinking about steel players and Western swing players and stuff like that. And a 15-inch speaker was, for a professional guitarist, it was a very common choice, which people kind of forget that today. But if you think of the old stuff that you did with this, think like a steel player would think. So there's a big, fat bottom end on there.
Lots of headroom.
But there's still a clarity on the highs. So it's really neat to be able to get that big, fat bottom end, and if you do use a distortion pedal or any kind of thing like that with it, that 15 is going to shave off some of the harshness in the high end. But again, it's still, there's still plenty of nice clarity on the highs in there. And then if you want to hit it hard, It's got a lot of punch, and you can play rock and roll. We're not just about reissuing the music and the sounds of the 50s. We're about making tools for people to use today.
Yeah.
You could be a 28-year-old guitar player that doesn't care anything about Leo Fender or Western Swing and put your pedal board in front of this amp and love it.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than a Fender amp for your foundation of tone, and then you build on it with your pedals.
All right, finally we got the 57 Custom Twin, which is, you know, Fender Twins are pretty iconic amps. So tell us about this one.
Well, the Tweed Twins have what I would call like a luxurious clean tone. It's not a super sanitary clean tone. It's one that has some harmonic hair and richness on it. But because it's a 40-watt 212 kind of platform, you can really get a lot of stage volume from it as well. So you know, this is originally a country amp, but the rockabilly guys used them, and there's people today like Keith Richards and Joe Bonamassa that use Tweed Twins as well. Just a perfect clean foundation for your pedals.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit.
I'm gonna play jazz. The clarity and the sparkle is all there. Hit it hard with a humbucker. And you're hearing those new Eminence Alnico speakers that have the papery high end, but not too much, and they have the rock and roll punch, but not too much. It's kind of blending those two approaches. So, you know, it's a stage and arena amp. It's not for everybody, but if you want like the finest clean tone on tap, that's your guy, the 57 Twin.
All right, Shane, so where can people go online to find out information about this whole new line of custom amps?
These will all be up on Fender.com starting in August. So this is the preview at the NAMM show.
And will they be available around August time too?
Yeah, we're starting to ship to dealers right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, Shane, thank you so much, man.
All right, thank you.
This is Jason Shadrick with PremierGuitar.com.